Hi, my name is Petra, and I am the personal branding expert and strategist for entrepreneurs. Today, I'm so excited to have Star Khechara here with us today, and you are known as Miss Monetisation. You lead, you lead six. What do you lead? Tell me.
I lead
Okay.
multi-passionate, multi-talented female solopreneurs to six figures and beyond.
And beyond. Absolutely fantastic. So, today we're going to be talking about how to create a multi five figure business. So, tell me exactly who Star is. Who is Miss Monetisation?
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, this is my new like branding really because before when had a business before this one, I was just Star Khechara, organic beauty guru or something like that.
Yeah,
And I set up an online skincare training school, wanting to help people wanting to do skincare formulation professionally, but using only natural and organic ingredients, which
yeah,
has been a thing I've been into for a really, really long time. I had a book published in 2008 called The Holistic Beauty Book, and it was my absolute passion in life, doing organic and natural skincare. But I sold that business last year because I realised that what I really loved helping people with was the business side of it. Like the reason I set up a skincare school for people who want to do it professionally was because I wanted to help people launch their businesses and launch their
yeah,
careers. And so then I was like, kind of like a light went on, ding, it's had this big epiphany. And I was like, so really I should be just helping people with businesses, set businesses up of any kind, because that's what my passion was. I love sales and marketing, such a massive geek with that stuff. I know I've got loads of experience with being an entrepreneur myself and
yeah.
also helping others. I just never charged for it before. So that's kind of like the backstory. And then I sold that business this year and rebranded myself as Miss Monetisation because, as my partner kindly pointed out, that is what I help people do, make money. It took me actually a while to own that name because I felt it was a little bit cringy, help
Yeah.
people to make money. Oh my God, that just sounds so like scammy, but obviously the way I do it is not scammy. I'm not a scammer, so I just
Yeah.
had to like learn to own that kind of, I help people make money kind of thing.
And what I love about you, because I met you sometime the end of last year, and the reason why I resonated with you is because you're really passionate about being yourself. You're passionate about unleashing your quirks and just being weird and just being completely you and not conforming to what society or what every other so-called expert wants you to conform to. So just and I find that a lot of, especially women entrepreneurs, they kind of like to hide behind who they are. So how did you sort of come to how did you really be accepting of exactly who you are?
Well, it wasn't so much like I had to be accepting. It was just like I didn't really have any choice.
Yeah,
I am what I am, and I can't dilute myself really. I tried to be honest, because
yeah,
I'm a fallible human being like everyone else, and there was a point in my career after my book was published, and my book had the picture of me on the back with facial piercings and flowers in my hair, looking kind
yeah,
of quite punky, and then and then I set my skincare training school up. And for the first year, I was still being kind of like Star, she's a bit weird or whatever. And then I thought, oh, if I really want to take this to like the next level, I'm going to have to start being what they call professional. And I mistook, I mean, I already was professional. I ran a professional business, my clients always came first and my products are, top notch. But I felt like professional meant changing who I was.
yes, yeah,
And I made that error too, and I started trying to conform to what I'm supposed to look like as a beauty expert. I used to straighten my hair, I wore nice dresses and heels, and I just did not look like me. I've got the old pictures. I'm going to do a blog post with them up actually, just as a real case study of like even Miss Monetisation with the carriers tried to conform once and it didn't work, and it just completely, I did not feel like me at all, and I started to hate my business because of it. So it was
yeah,
almost like there isn't a choice. If you want to launch a thing into the world that you love and are passionate about, you've got to be yourself. There's no other way to do it, and we don't need any more of these pastel branded, cookie cutter,
oh my god,
you know, butt licking, wannabes. The internet is awash with those kinds of people.
Yes, it is. It is.
So the only thing that's going to make you stand out is your you-ness anyway. So you've got to embrace it, quirks and all. You know.
Yeah.
And if you're scared about it, just jump on Twitter and use the hashtag wealth from weirdness, because that's the hashtag I use. It's my hashtag that I use to gather everyone up, who's a bit weird, and to prove that you don't have to conform to make things work. You can wear cat ears and have facial piercings and tons of tattoos, or bright, green hair, or whatever it is that your quirks are. They don't even have to be physical quirks. You don't have to be weird. Your quirk might be you're the most vanilla person you know. Well, embrace the vanillaness. That is your weirdness.
I mean, I'm in your Wealthgasmic group, and it's brilliant. And what I love about your group is that there are so many entrepreneurs now that are just sort of unleashing themselves and showing the world exactly who they are with their quirks and warts and all.
Yeah.
Because I remember I went through a phase last year of basically looking at who I was as a person. And what I did, and what I encourage my clients to do, is just write down every single thing about who you are, and also write down exactly what other people say you are, and you can turn those into your strengths and let that be what people know you for. I mean, what I love about you is that is that in your groups and even on your Facebook page, you have rants, you say what's on your mind, and the thing is, that is what draws people to you. I don't believe that people buy your products or services, they buy you.
Yeah.
And I know that that's something that you believe also, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, people buy from people, so you can have the best product in the world, but if you're an absolute douche, and people aren't going to buy from you. And likewise, you can have quite a low grade product, but if people love you, they'll buy it anyway. Not that I'm advocating having a low grade product. I'm all about being authentic and also having high standards, because that's just how I roll. But yeah, I mean, I believe in being myself. I put pictures out there of me when I used to be a burlesque dancer, with my nipple tassels on, they're all over the people. I mean, I can't pretend that never happened, so I may as well just embrace it and be like, hey, I'm putting the sparkle back into business with a bit of showgirl sass,
Absolutely.
And I do exercises too, but not just for my clients, but on myself constantly. It's an ongoing work to make sure you're being authentic, because it's really easily done to be sidetracked by what everyone else is doing. And it's hard sometimes to be truly authentic, because what you might think is authentic to you, you've actually nabbed from someone else.
That's true.
We're being influenced constantly, so you've got to keep pulling back to center and being like, no, hang on, is that really what I want to do though? Is that really me? Does that feel like me? And in 10 years, will I look back and will I go like, oh yeah, that was awesome, or will I go like, oh cringe, that wasn't me? So you've got to constantly reevaluate what you're doing. It's just part of the personal development process, and I believe strongly. I think personal development, when you're monetizing you the person, and being the face of what it is you stand for in the world, you've got to constantly do personal development as well.
Absolutely. So tell us what you personally did to monetize you and leverage exactly who you are. How did you do that?
Yeah, well, that's quite a convoluted story, because I had no idea that what my passions could turn into money.
Turn your passions into money. I
didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought, like, if you're either on the dole, like, or you're in a job that you probably hate.
Hey, do you want to explain the dole for
US? Sorry.
If
you're not in the UK, the dole is being on welfare. So you're either on welfare, or you have a job that you probably hate,
Yes.
Or you are an entrepreneur. And I thought entrepreneurs were like slick guys in suits that worked in London or New York or wherever, and they drove fast cars, and they were just like hard-chinned, sales orientated, guys. They didn't even create stuff themselves. They weren't creative people. They were just like selling whatever, sold, buy, sell, will. And I thought that's what an entrepreneur was. So I was like, well, where the hell do I fit into this world? Because I'm not any of those things. Well, at the time I was on the welfare pile, but I knew I had aspiration, And but one of my passion, I've got several because I'm multi-passionate, but I haven't got time to go through all of them, but one of my main passions, especially back then, was I loved like organic skincare. I loved making it from scratch, and I spent years and years doing it. I started when I was like 16,
Yeah.
and I was still doing it when I was like 30 something, and I love it. I love it. I'm clever at it. It was a natural talent for me to do it. I was pushing boundaries with it all the time. Like when I started making vegan skincare way before it was trendy to do
Wow.
that. I was the first person that kept coming out saying you can make it totally natural. You don't have to give in to these demands, and people say you can't make it totally natural, it won't work, and I was like, yes you can, watch me, and I just started like building skincare, formulating skincare day after day. I did it like I loved it. I didn't care, I didn't think it would make me money ever. That wasn't the point. I just wanted to be so bloody good at it that
Yeah.
and that was what was driving me forward. Now I didn't know that would turn into a multiple six-figure business,
Yeah.
but it
And
did because I
what
had the passion.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about what you're saying there is that so many people said you can't do that, you can't do that. Was that sort of the fuel to let them know I bloody well can?
Absolutely. Like the minute anyone says no, you can't do it, that's when I'm just a light goes off. Boom. I'm just want to say, watch me. Watch me
Yeah.
do this. And people have said it to me all the time. You can't be professional and look weird. You can't turn your skincare into a thing. You can't build your own academy online. You can't do this. Well, I've done every single one of those things
Yeah.
and made a lot of money from them. And all those people that told me I couldn't, they're not doing this stuff.
No, I'm not doing it at
They're
all.
not doing it. They're still like doing their well, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I stopped hanging out with people that told me no.
So, you create online courses, yeah?
All sorts, yeah.
Yeah, online courses, membership sites. Tell us exactly what's available now in terms of what courses do you have to offer at this present moment?
What me? Well, very little right now because I'm revamping my whole website. So
Yeah.
it's a bit like looking into a bare cupboard just before you go shopping. So not very much, but I'm literally building some stuff this week. This is
Yeah.
my mission this week. So I'm getting up, I'm building. In fact, I'll tell you the secret new thing that's coming. Um, I'm actually building like a proper academy.
We're getting it here first today. That's fantastic. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no. So I'm building this academy, but it's not just going to be like a business school like online. It's a hip business school for quirky, multi-passionate solopreneurs, and it's going to run like a college. It's going to go from September to summer with a graduation party, and
Ah,
I'm going to have certificates for everyone and like gift bags and burlesque shows and everything at
oh my
it's like a
God.
proper graduation. It's going to run like a proper school, live stuff with me, and it's all about helping people really, really cash in on those multi passions and multi talents that they have, and embracing the weirdness about them and how to turn that into a sales and marketing plan and how to monetize all that and create a six-figure business from basically your personality and innate skills, passions, talents, and everything. So it's going to
Yeah.
be really quite different. But yeah, that's a secret sneak peek. I don't even have the sales page up for it yet or anything. So there's nothing to
Oh
direct
God.
anyone to. But obviously, if they come to my website, they can sign up for my mailing list and they'll be the first to hear about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's on the cards. That's the big thing that's on the cards this year. So it's a sneak
That's
peek.
brilliant. I love that you said that you're going to be teaching people how to make money from their passions with their quirky personality. Is that what you call bank your brain? Because you say that quite often, don't you?
Bank, yeah, I've got like quite a few stock little phrases. Yeah,
Yes,
wealth
you
and
do.
weirdness, bank your brain, don't start business, monetize you. Yeah, bank your brain is really that's going to be a section inside my academy actually now.
Oh, okay.
But bank your brain is all about how the practical methods and ways to actually turn your passion, skills, and talents into profitable products. So it's kind of like more of the practical and technological aspect of that. So obviously, like when you monetize yourself, there's loads of aspects to that,
Yeah.
and only one of those aspects is actually making the physical, products and services. So that's what bank your brain is, yeah, because it's literally taking your brain to the bank.
To the bank.
Yeah, putting all
But
that into something that you can sell. Yeah.
And what I love about that is because I mean, when I do brand discovery sessions,
Mm.
and I do especially like clarity sessions
Yeah.
where I ask my clients basically, what are you an expert at?
Yeah.
And they say, oh, I'm not an expert in anything. I don't know what I do. I find that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Why do you think that, especially women entrepreneurs, don't actually own and acknowledge all the knowledge that they actually have?
Yeah, I know it's a really massive issue, and it's so common. So if anyone's
Yeah.
watching this and they're thinking, "I do that," I'm like, "Don't worry, you're not alone. We all do it." And like even I did it too. It's I don't know why specifically women do it. I guess it's because we've come from a long history of like not being entrepreneurial. Perhaps there's something in our like cellular memory that makes us just be like, "Oh no, I just do this," and whatever. Because we're more community driven rather than driven by materialism so much.
Yeah.
But really, like everyone has got expertise, everyone, and I use the word expert quite a lot. And people say like, "Oh, I hate that word," I hate the word expert. And it's like, we've got to stop putting like these fear boundaries around these words. We all
Yeah.
have knowledge and experience and skills and expertise that we can monetize. Every single
Yeah.
person on the planet, even if you are like, "Well, I left school with no qualifications, I don't have a degree, and all I've done is be a child carer." Well, yeah, f tons of stuff if you've brought children up.
Yeah.
If you've brought children up, you're already multi talented.
Absolutely.
You're a teacher, mother, baker, sewer of clothes, like a stylist, for small people. There isn't a skill that you can't monetize in that, definitely. And so everyone's got expertise and skills. It doesn't matter; they don't have to be formal qualifications at all, although they're good too. But that's not for everyone. I mean, I have a degree in art, but I teach about business, so go figure. Well, actually, it's not even a degree in art; it's a degree in metalwork design.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
really weird. Yeah, I don't really like bring welding into my business classes, but
Maybe not yet. When
not
we
yet. Yeah,
say,
like I said, there's always time. Start angle grinding people. Yeah, so we've all got multi passions and multi talents and expertise that we can take to the bank, if we believe in ourselves and want to do it and get the expert help to do so, because it's a lonely road doing it on your own all the time. I wish I had me now back then.
yeah, it is. One thing that I always say, and is that every single one of us are born with the answer to a problem.
Mm, that's
And
good.
he says that, in your courses, you show people how to monetize that expertise that they've already got in them.
Yeah.
So I think the main question then, what we all want to know is, how can we create a multi 5-figure business based on the fact that you rebranded as Miss Monetization? Was it just from last March 2014?
I only came up with that name like really recently, actually, but
Yep.
I was just Star Khechara before. Yeah. So, what was the question? Sorry, just say that question again.
Well, there's probably two questions in there,
Oh,
actually. Your Miss Monetization brand, that started fast, didn't it?
yes.
Traction, it went fast. So, and did you go to B school? I think you mentioned before. Is that
Yeah,
how it all
yeah,
started?
yeah. The story is I sold my business, my skincare school. My skincare school took off. Went to like it brought me in like a 5-figure monthly income quite quickly,
Yeah,
considering I bootstrapped it completely myself on a 9-year-old computer. Living in like someone's room in a shared house. I had no money, I had nothing. I couldn't pay experts to do anything, so I had to learn it all myself. So yeah, so my business, my skincare school, Formula Botanica, I sold last February, but I'd taken that already to like a 5-figure monthly income for me. But I knew the time was to move on, and I'd been in skincare for by that point about 20 years,
yeah,
and I'd had amazing success. I had a book published. I had journalists calling me up all the time, like daily, asking for my expert opinion for their magazines. I was given a QVC contract to present for them as a like in-house beauty guru. Like loads of I had TV ops as well, like other ones. So I could have been like the most famous skincare expert in the UK for definite. But I turned it all down. I ripped up my TV contract in an act of rebellion, because I realised I wanted to really leave the realm of skincare, and I just wanted to help people launch their successful businesses, whatever
yeah,
field they were in. And so I joined B School because I just wanted to hang out with other entrepreneurs.
yeah.
I didn't feel I needed the training because I already, there's no training like running your own business, that it's unbeatable. So I still haven't looked through the materials a year on. I just didn't feel like I needed them, and I just joined to be in a community of other entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, and really start to like make friends as well with other entrepreneurs. But yeah, so I started out helping people in there and realized very quickly that they were very short on a lot of information, especially tech help,
Yeah.
the exact hows of how to do stuff, especially things like courses, how to set up their marketing campaigns using like email autoresponders, that kind of thing. So I started just launching a series of like technical courses for
Yeah.
people, and that just took off like instantly. I launched e-course bootcamp in not until June, so I had all that time off, but I sold my business for quite a large sum, so I didn't have to work if I didn't want to. So I didn't start anything till June, so it was only June last year,
Yeah.
and it instantly went to like multiple five figures, like that course, because I provided a service that was missing. That
Yes.
people just couldn't find this information very easily, and especially not from an expert. I've not only had I built an academy that went to global like status, like within a very short time, that had 6 e-courses in it, but I'd also, after my degree in art, I went to do masters in education training, and then I actually had official teacher training as well. So I bunged all that knowledge together and
Wow.
packaged it up to teach people how to create really amazing e-courses. Because a lot of the free info out there teaches you just how to make scrappy little e-courses, but we don't want scrappy little e-courses in the world. No, we want amazing e-courses in the world.
So please, I would love to hear then your 5 best tips on how we can create a multi-5-figure income.
Ooh, she's asking for all the
Ooh.
secrets now. I don't know about that. I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. No, okay, all right. Well, the first thing is you really got to like believe in yourself. It's all about doing the inner work first. I know it sounds a little bit fluffy, but it's really true. If you don't have self-belief, then the problems is going to crop up in your business all the time.
Yes.
Every time you want to launch something, you're going to hold yourself back. You're going to hold yourself back from your online personality. You're going to stop yourself from being visible in the world, which is going to hamper your sales. So it all comes down to self-belief, and it's not something that's easily taught. This is the problem. It's something you have to. It's almost like a skill you have to keep practicing.
Yeah.
Much like any skill. If you wanted to learn to swim, you've got to go and start swimming, and the more you do it, the better you get. So you've got to start practicing self-belief. And one of the things I have that I still add to, and I'm actually about to write a blog post on this, so stay tuned to my blog if you're listening. If you're listening, I hope they're listening. I don't know why I said that. If you're listening. So I'm about to do a blog post on this, but I keep a success file. I keep a success file of like every little success, whether it's a nice email someone sent me saying,
Oh, that's a good idea. That.
it's really good. It's beautiful to look through, and I keep all my qualifications in there, even the random ones that don't relate to anything I do anymore. They're still in there because it's still an achievement. My driving license, it took me 36 years to learn to drive because I was terrified. So my driving license is my biggest achievement, bigger than my degree and everything, So everything that I'm proud of, everything that shows me that, hey, I can do this, I've got this, emails from people, testimonials, that every little thing, that in little snippets from the press. Once I started getting in the press, I started cutting out the little snippets, even if it was just like my little local paper, who did that a tiny thing about me. In it went the success file, and then if I'm ever feeling like I just get my success file out and I just leaf through. And now it's quite big, At first it's like tiny, now it's quite big. So I mean, I call it. I say like you've got to believe to achieve. That's kind of like my little catchphrase as part of my one of my courses. And it's true. It's true. If you don't have that self-belief foundation, it's really tough. So start believing you have got knowledge, skills. You have got the passion. You want to make a change and a difference. You just got to believe that you can. And trust me, if this girl from a council estate in the Midlands of England, who's lived in poverty all her life and even had spent 5 years living in leaky caravans because she had no money, if she can do it, you can do it. So,
absolutely.
Absolutely anyone can do this. You just got to start with the self-belief. And the second thing is you got to like really check out if you've got any money blocks as well. A lot of females tend to have these quite a lot. We resist the idea that we can earn money, especially that we can earn it easily. or that we can deserve to earn it at all. You know, a lot of people go, oh, you know, they'll give away all their work for free, or they'll keep discounting, or they'll say, oh, I really want to charge £60 for an hour, but oh, I'll give it to you for a tenner, you know.
Yeah.
And we're constantly like, and that message is basically telling yourself you're not good enough. You know, you're not good enough to do this for money and earn it, and you're not believing in your own skills
Yeah.
at all, and believing they are worth monetizing. And one of the things I did for that part of things is I wrote myself an abundance manifesto, which that's on a blog post somewhere as well, if you can find it on my very scatty website, which is being redone right now. But I wrote myself an abundance manifesto, and I wrote down what exactly I wanted some money for. And at the time, it's my driving license and to get my teeth straightened, which they are now done. 2 years. 2 years of pain, and like a few things, and also the reason why I wanted to become wealthy, because I've got quite a what you might call like a hippie kind of mindset. You know, I believe in being of service. I've always been very eco and green, and kind of money and wealth. You know, in those kind of realms, there's always been like the antichrist. You know, so.
Yeah.
I was like, well, do you know what? People with money can change the world. We're letting people who wreck the planet get rich because we're too afraid to be rich and care for it. You know, so we're too busy like saying, well, we don't need money to do that, but you do. You know, money's important. It's the middleman between you and stuff, and also taking action on stuff. So if loads of like heart-centered people got together and became mega wealthy, just think of the amazing world we could create. When we can afford to buy the rainforest and protect it forever. You know, think of all these things. So I gave myself an incentive. Like I gave myself like value-based incentives to get rich. You know, think of all the people I could help. I could help my sister. I could help my mum. You know, and by charging my clients like decent sums of money, that frees up more time for me and money to create free stuff for people that maybe can't afford to work with me yet. So I'm still being of service to people with or without money. And I think that's really important. And I went and did Denise DT's money bootcamp as well to put the icing on the cake with my money blocks. And it's an ongoing process, I'll tell you. It doesn't disappear overnight, but I've come such a long way. You know, I earn like 5 figures a month. I've had 2 6-figure businesses, you know, and when I started my business, I was living in a tent. So, you know, deal with those money blogs.
Deal with it, absolutely. Deal with those money blogs. That's fantastic.
So what was that? That was 2 tips. So third tip is, monetize you. Don't think about yourself as starting a business, which is over here and separate from the thing that is you. It'll only cause confusion and paralysis and all that horrible stuff and procrastination. What you're really doing as a solopreneur is you're monetizing you. So it's all about you, you know. Get you out into the world. You don't have to think then about, you know, what's this thing I call a business? Well, how shall I name it? It doesn't matter, you know, because you're monetizing yourself, and you're just putting out your gifts into the world. And you know, some of the easiest ways to do that is obviously with courses, free stuff like blog posts and everything. YouTube videos are fairly easy to do. Just start putting your message out into the world. Start sharing your gifts with people, and it'll start to become more obvious how to move that forward once you start. Actually, that's going to be my 4th tip, actually, because this is something that I tell people all the time. Just start now.
Yes.
You know, just start now. Like, stop fannying around thinking, but I'm not ready, I'm not ready. You've got to start now, even if that's just doing free stuff for now. Even if that's just putting up one page saying, hi, I'm so-and-so, I do this, join my mailing list to get lots of free tips for XXX. And just start giving yourself, and it becomes so much easier afterwards, because once you start, it's almost like you're stuck in a forest of possibilities, and then as soon as you just take that step, the path appears before you, like almost like magic. It's quite insane how this happens for everyone I've spoken to.
It does, and also, you know, because if you don't start, you'll be stuck, and you'll be stuck in the analysis paralysis. You just won't do anything at all. But you know, and that's what I always say: just start. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have it figured out. Just start, and you can start by just telling people what you actually do.
That's right. It's so easy these days. You don't need money to start. You can start a Facebook group. You can start a blog. You can get some YouTube videos up. That's how you start. You start in the small way. People think by starting they've got to have the whole business up and ready. You know, absolutely not. I don't even have my business up and ready. I'm still like building it, you know. I'm still like building it because this really, this monetization stuff really still feels very new to me, you know, because I was years and years in the skincare realm, and that business took a while. I started with, do you know, I'll tell you, you know, everyone listening, you won't believe it, but I started selling my first course. I didn't even have a mailing list. I didn't even have a website. I just had nothing. All I had was a few emails I'd saved from people that bought my book who had asked about training like months and months ago. And then I said, oh, I'm thinking about building this like diploma in natural skincare. What do you
Yeah.
guys think? And if you want it, it's £250 and send me a check to this address. You know, literally, it was that basic and
Yeah. I can
low
relate to
low
that.
grade. And
I can
checks
relate
start.
to that.
Did you do it too? Well, checks started coming
Yeah.
in. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, money was what?
Yeah, I can relate to that, and I tell you why. Because I'm a branding expert now, but I wasn't always. When I became self-employed on the 19th of July 2013, I was selling T-shirts, and I was selling workwear embroidery. So I would go door to door.
Mm.
I had no website. I didn't know how to make a website, and I'll give my number by just ripping off a piece of paper, writing it down, and giving it out. Yeah,
Awesome.
and then we were taking home like £4,500 a month. Do you see what I mean? So
That's
just
right.
start. It
Just
doesn't
start.
matter. Just start.
Yeah, you don't even have to have a website. You don't need. In fact, I'm putting together. This is one of the things I've mapped out the other day. I'm having this big like download of stuff, and I'm putting together like a cheat sheet of how to start without needing a website or anything first. How to
Yeah.
start selling, because that's how I started. You know, so I know all the
Yeah.
little tricks of how to do it. And you're absolutely right, Petra, because you know you could miss out on years and years of sales because you're like, well, my website's not finished, or I don't have the perfect logo yet, or I'm not quite
Yes.
sure.
Oh,
It's like, just do something,
just
even if
do.
it's just a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Just do something. Just start putting stuff out there. And so that brings me on to, oh, I've lost count.
I've
Fourth,
lost
fifth
count.
tip,
Four,
whatever.
five, something like that.
Brings me on to the fourth one. It's all about being the helper. And
Yes, you
this
say
is,
that a lot.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the best sales technique in the world. You know, if you want to elevate yourself up and get lots of likes on your Facebook and a big following and people on your mailing list and actually start to make sales for the stuff you're putting out in the world,
Yeah.
you've got to start helping people. That's got to be your driving force. And as entrepreneurs, we are in the service industry, all of us, because that's what we all do. You know, if
Absolutely.
you're an entrepreneur of anything, you're servicing, whether you're making jewelry that makes people happy when they wear it, or coaching people with health, or helping them brand, you're in service to other people.
Yes. Yes.
So let them show you're in service by getting out there and helping them. You know, it doesn't take much to start helping people for free. You just start joining some groups or some forums. You help. Look out for people who are needing help and give them that help. It's not difficult. You know, it's like if someone fell over in the street in front of you, I'm sure you'd bend down and help pick them up. And you
Yeah.
know, it's there's no genius to this whatsoever. The only thing I would say in regards to helping others is make sure you're helping in the realm of your genius zone that you want to monetize later on. Because don't try and help with everything, because otherwise people don't know what you stand for either. Like, I fell into that
Yes.
trap a little bit, and people come to me for everything from skincare to gluten-free food to MailChimp to marketing and business. And I was like, oh my God, right, I need to like stop helping with these other peripheral skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start helping with your main passion skills and you know, the things you want to monetize. And then it
Brilliant.
becomes really clear of what you can help with, and you're listening to others too, because when you start putting products out into the world, like coaching programs or an e-course or whatever it is, if you haven't actively helped others, you're not going to know how to tap into what issues they have with that thing.
Yes. That's true. That is. Yeah.
So it helps you as well. It's like it's a win-finity situation.
Where did you get these words?
Well, well, a lot of them I make up because I'm just like really word
I
nerd.
love that Winfinity.
But I
That
didn't make
needs
that
to
one
be
up.
a tweetable as well, doesn't it?
Winfrey. I actually got that from Dr. Doug Graham, the fruitarian doctor. There you go. He uses it quite a lot. I don't know if that's his word or whether he made it up, but it's not mine. I won't take credit for
Okay.
someone
Okay.
else's. But it's a good phrase, isn't it? Winfinity. It's a
Easy.
winfinity situation because we all win. You know, you're helping for free. You're getting your name out there. You're building trust, but also you're getting to glean amazing insights into the mind of your potential customers, and that's priceless.
Yes, that's amazing. Wow. You got one last one.
Oh, did I? Oh, was that number 4? Okay. Number 5, don't be afraid of selling.
Yes,
What have we
brilliant.
done? You've got to sell. If you don't sell anything, you're not in business. So sales are like the lifeblood of being an entrepreneur. And we're very afraid of sales because we think we're going to have to go and like ring people up and be like, hey, buy my stuff, buy it now, and have all these like flashing arrows, and we're going to have to do Facebook ads and click words, and I don't even know what half this stuff is because I don't even use it, but you're going to have to use all this crazy expensive technology, and you hear
Yeah.
about these entrepreneurs who are like, they're so like sleazy, and they've got all these like massive long sales pages which you go on. It takes you like an hour to read the sales page. It's got these arrows and tiny text, and then it's then a video of them going, "Hey, I'm Brad." It's all about like this, and so this is the image of sales we've all grown up with, and it's still in that world now. We still see that kind of stuff, especially from like male entrepreneurs. So as females, we're a bit more like, we'd like a softer approach, Everyone who's a salesperson who's worked in sales will know it's much harder to sell to a woman than to a man because women are way more discerning. Sorry, guys, but I mean, it's maybe there's a lot of discerning men too, but it's like we have like a much bigger bullshit scanner, and it's always going, So it's much harder to sell to women, and as women who hate selling, like so we get stuck in this horrible like angsty place where we're like, no one will buy it, but I can't sell it, and they just don't know what to do. And to be honest, you don't have to do all that hard selling stuff. It's nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah, it works for some people, but if you don't like doing it that way, there's no reason why you can't. I don't do Facebook ads. I don't do pitching webinars. My sales pages are often pretty humorous, and I try to sell on one thing only: quality. Make your stuff freaking awesome, and you instantly rise above everyone else. There's a lot.
Being yourself as well.
What's that? Sorry.
Whilst being yourself.
Yeah, while being your authentic self, because people are going to be drawn to you for your personality. And I've got a video up on my YouTube about that. It's called don't be the flame. It's all about a flame, a candle flame doesn't chase the moths around. It just stands there shining, and the moths come in. It's from miles away. Where did all these moths come from? And you'd be surprised when you stand in your own power and start shining your passions and being the helper, being visible, getting your stuff into the world, starting now. You'll be surprised how many people start coming to you and then actively asking what they can buy from you before you've even got a sales page up.
Yes, that is absolutely true. Yep. I completely agree because that's happened to me. So yes, absolutely.
That's it. And when you do get stuff up out there, just make sure it's the best quality you can do right now. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be good. It should stand above what's already out there, because I would say 99% of e-courses online, absolute dross. Overpriced drivel, especially if you go to places like ClickBank. If you ever gone on there, oh my god, it's like a thrift store of bad e-courses, and you've got to tap into your real passion, skills, and expertise and deliver them. It doesn't have to be the flashiest video. It doesn't have to be the best plugin. It's the content that counts. Give amazing, valuable content to people, and they will rave about you, and they will tell other people. And that is the best marketing you can ever get in the world.
That is fantastic. Oh, Miss Monetisation, it's been brilliant speaking to you. I could just speak to you all day.
Is it time to go?
Just speak to you all day. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your wealth of knowledge and just being who you are. It's just been brilliant. And
Thank you.
It's funny because I'm in your Wealthgasmic group because I am now Wealthgasmic.
She's enjoying multiple Wealthgasms, people.
Daily.
Ooh la la.
And what I love is that this is the first time that we've spoken, but I feel like I know you because you give a lot of yourself in the group, and this is why people buy you. Your brand is you. Your brand is not your logo, it's not your color scheme, it's not your website. That's drivel. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's absolutely you. So
Spoken
that's
from the brander, people.
I can talk about that all day long. So thank you. Oh, where can we find you then? Where can we find you on Twitter, Facebook,
Yeah, I'm on.
Instagram? Where can we
I
find you?
don't tweet that much, but other people seem to tweet me quite a lot because of my weird little phrases I come up with. But mostly Facebook. I'm on
Yeah.
Star Khechara, the Freedom Entrepreneur. I've got my website, starkhechara.com, and the best place, obviously, is in my free group. Da, 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 which it used to be called Wealthgasms, but I changed the name to Monetize You because it's a bit more fitting with what my website is now branded as. So
Yeah.
Monetize You is the name of the free group. So come there. Petra's in there too.
I am.
She's
I
very
am.
awesome and helpful.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, it's a brilliant group because like I've been in a lot of groups and a lot of them are just dead. It's full of pictures. I don't
Uh,
allow pictures in my group for a reason, not because I'm being horrible, but just because I feel like it dilutes the group. And so what we all do in there, we have Monetization Monday and Wealthgasmic Wednesday. And I drop in like all kinds of useful information, little freebies, lots of long rambling rants from me, top tips. What I
yeah.
mean, God, loads of stuff, don't I? I'm always putting stuff in there. I believe in giving epic value, so it is the best group on the internet. I do believe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's brilliant. So what I'll do, I'll put all the links below. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
for
put the
sure.
links below so you can just literally follow Star everywhere online.
Follow a star.
So thank you so much for tuning in and, you know, create your five-figure business by
Yeah,
being yourself, by being quirky.
monetize your multi passions. Go do it.
Okay. So I'll see you in the group and I'll
Yay!
see you for now. Okay?
Take care. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.